All right, let's go. Welcome everybody to JRC Stocks. Today we have an epic show for you. We've got Trent Daniel, the incoming COO of BQST, with the sexiest floating stock structure we've seen in a while, and some really good information that I think is going to blow your mind if you're looking for an AI stock to potentially invest in. So, want to give a big shout out to Shido down here on the left for joining us, one of our techie nerdy gurus when it comes to all information concerning stock cycles, financial cycles, regulatory filings. I mean, this guy is a wealth of information. Shido, thanks for coming on here, man.
Thanks.
Pat, the OTC method guru. Guys, listen, if you're on here because you learn how to trade from Pat, or you're in his trading room, or you guys have just known and followed some of the stocks he's represented, guys, look, we're here to provide you with some in-depth, insightful information to help you do the best you can with your trading. And of course, in the top right, we got Trent Daniel. Thank you so much for coming on, Trent. It's an honor and pleasure to have you here.
Good talking to you. Good talking to you again, actually. It's great to see you guys.
You too. Been a while.
It has been a while. We're in a whole different world now, but we've got some really interesting stuff to share with everybody. So it's great to see you guys. I love the video format. This is really cool. I like it.
Well, guys, if you're just coming on, please go ahead and share this, because we're going to do something that I don't believe has been done before. Not only are we going to talk about this AI stuff, but we're going to see it work firsthand. So you're going to want to stay tuned. So go and share this podcast right now. Share this live stream on X. If you're following us on YouTube, go and share it with your friends. Copy a link, paste it, get them in here so you can see firsthand how AI can transform a company's life, even companies. I'm not going to give him a cue now. We'll wait for that later. There's some big companies getting on this that he's already involved with. I can't wait for you to find out. So without further ado, I'm going to let Shido and Pat step out for a second, and we're going to get this Q&A on.
Good seeing you guys.
All right, Trent.
All right. Let's go.
Well, you know where it starts. Listen, I mean, if you haven't been following TONR, which is where Trent comes from, then I want everybody to have an idea of where you come from and what your background is. So introduce yourself and let people know who you are, if you would.
Okay, cool. No problem. First of all, it's great to see everybody. And forgive me for the shameless Chick-fil-A plug. I just got over a cold, and if I don't have something to drink, my voice is gonna literally shut down. So forgive me, guys, for that. But Chick-fil-A, that's the only way to go. My background, I founded with my partners Tanner back in 2011. The company was formed to be a toy company, and we 3 years after we launched, we ended up getting a deal with 3,000 Walmart stores. So that was fantastic. After that, partners kind of went their separate ways. The business didn't do much, but we kept the public company alive, specifically for the purposes of moving a new business model into the company, which we ended up in the software, the crypto software, trading software space, which, and due to some of the technology that we were using in development of the software, we started working with machine learning and artificial intelligence, which led us to where we were there. I wasn't working for the company. I was literally just a consultant, product consultant. And then BioQuest came along, and I had a company that I formed named Bot Makers. BioQuest came along. They were looking for a lateral move in their space. And so here we are today, and now I'm talking to you guys again. And I just need to say, for everybody that's here for Tanner, I've got some really great news. Just hang on, it's coming.
Outstanding. Now, you sent me a whole lot of questions, but I think that just leading out, help everybody understand the transition from Tanner to BQST and what that means to yourself as well as potentially TONR shareholders.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, after I founded Tonner back in 2011, and in 2016, I decided I wanted to pursue some other ventures. I actually wrote a book with Bernadette Stanis, who played Thelma on the TV show Good Times. That was my first celebrity book that I wrote. And so we worked on some projects together, film and television, things like that, and also some other book projects. So I kind of, had a period where I kind of was out of the public company space. And then Tonner wanted to continue to do business. And so that's when we started working on the trade score product lines. So my transition over to BQST was always that I never really wanted to have an inside position with Tonner because I didn't want to have to tie myself down to that. But I was consulting them, helping develop product, things like that. But like I said, there was a natural transition over to BQST because they were looking for exactly what BotMakers was. BotMakers was strictly an artificial intelligence business communications company. BioQuest came to us and they were like, listen, if we can acquire or absorb BotMakers into BioQuest, and then eventually the public company will actually be BotMakers. So that's kind of how the transition. But what I needed to make sure of, there was a fantastic share structure, and that's exactly what we found with BQST.
Yes, you did. I
Yeah.
posted a link with some of the updated bullet points on that share structure. I mean, everybody's been around these OTC market companies forever. We've seen some crazy stuff. I mean,
Yes.
the toxic debt, the bloated pigs, as we call them. And here you find yourself with less than 160,000 shares in the float.
Yes. Absolutely. It's I mean, you've been in this space. That's it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, it really doesn't. And the partners, Tom Hemingway and the Viking Capital Partners and other people that are involved in that company have been so wonderful to work with. A lot of times when you find a company that's available for some type of merger or acquisition or whatever partnership, the players, they tend to be a little sketchy and a little,
Yep.
there's always something they don't want to tell you, or the gotchas and and none of that with BioQuest. It has absolutely been run phenomenally for it to transition from what was doing to what it is doing now. The books are beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely pristine situation. And I knew that this was the place to move to, which is why I accepted the offer to actually be the COO of the company. And it put me in the perfect position to make sure that my initial goal from back in 2011 is to reward the fantastic shareholders at Tonner, okay, and to put them in a position to really win because they've been through a lot. So that's just kind of how that transition happened and why there's BioQuest now and BotMakers and where all that's coming from.
All right. Now,
Mhm.
before we get into the Reg A, something that ties into that,
Yes.
you mentioned it's going to benefit the shareholders. Now, from my understanding, bot makers is how it's going to benefit the shareholders.
Hmm.
I said you're going to potentially, maybe it hadn't transpired yet. So I expect that you're looking to do a deal to acquire bot makers from TONR, right? How does that look and what's it going to play
So
out like?
TONR has a property called AI Callers. Okay. The deal has already been agreed to, and Tonner people, hold on to your hats. I am going to buy that property from Tonner for 1 million shares of stock in BioQuest. Okay. And that's coming from my own personal shares. That's not any new issuance or anything like that. That's coming from my own personal shares that I'm going to do that. So we're going to acquire the AI Callers brand and that technology and move it under BioQuest. Now, why are we doing that? Well, the reason we're doing that because what Tonner needs now is assets, and it needs a continuous capital infusion that can come from places other than going out and trying to raise money in bad financial conditions, and the debt and everything on Tonner is just bad. So by having this BioQuest stock as an asset, there will be facilities in place so Tanner can actually make some decision and make some moves, clean up some debt, do those kind of things, and get that balance sheet looking a lot better, which we can get the stock price up. So that's literally why I took the position as COO, to be able to do this. Now, here's a wonderful piece of news for you guys over at Tanner. I've been in talks for the last 6 months with the company about actually taking over as CEO, and I've made the decision that I am going to do that. We can't announce a specific date when that's going to happen, but I am going to take over the position as CEO of Tanner, because there are other people that can step in for BioQuest and take the COO, CFO, and all those positions, and we can work together in tandem. So this is something that I only wanted to announce on this show, and
Thank you.
it's going to be fantastic. A lot of people have been, is he ever going to be the CEO of the company? Yes, I am, because my heart has always been with Tanner, and I just needed something like this BioQuest deal to come through where this can do that. But again, I want everybody to understand, this is coming from my own personal shares ownership in BioQuest. This is not something where BioQuest is issuing a bunch of new shares to do this. This is coming from what's already out there. So I've always wanted to continue to prove my commitment to Tanner, and I'm going to double and triple down and make this thing happen and bring us all, rising tides lifts all ships.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That says a lot. Is there going to be any possible revenue sharing or strictly a transfer of the intellectual properties?
We're looking at all kind of options there. Okay. What we do know is that we want the shareholders to win and start to win fast. How that translates, those are things, because I haven't even officially accepted the position over at Tanner, and I need to have a little bit of time to do that, because I've got to divest of some things before I actually take over that. So, but what I will tell you is this: listen, Tanner people, if you've been riding with us this long, don't jump out of the car, okay? Because we're about to do exactly what we've been saying we were going to do all these years. And people that are looking at BioQuest, I will tell you that this is an absolute game-changing, fantastic opportunity and time for everybody to get on board with us, because we're going to rock and roll, and we're not going to have any of those overhang problems that we had with Tanner, with share structure and toxic debt from the past and any of that.
Well, we have a comment from Marcus Derringer. He said, stand up chaps. So kudos to you, Trent. Now, on to the next question. Now, we mentioned a Reg A. Now, there's
Yes.
a lot of, sometimes it's negative connotation, but if it's used properly, can be extremely influential in the growth and transition of an emerging growth company. So
Yes.
can you explain to everybody about bot makers in the Reg A and how BioQuest is going to give us more details on this.
Okay, so the Reg A was filed by BioQuest, and the purpose of the Reg A for BioQuest was to raise up to $5 million to facilitate rapid and massive expansion of the AI service products and service lines that we're bringing in from BioQuest. And we've already done a lot of this, okay? So a lot of this is already done. And so what the Reg A does, and I want people to understand, and he's absolutely right, Reg A's can be dangerous, okay, for shareholders, because you're literally talking about immediately free trading stock, okay? But what we've done, we've taken a strategic approach with this, where first of all, we're going to raise money that we need and not raise money just because we can raise money. I want to first of all understand that, okay? The second thing is, we're not going to do with the Reg A what a lot of companies do, is that they do a Reg A and then they go get money from the same toxic people that would have given them toxic debt. Okay, that's insane. You just don't do that. So we're going to be very narrow. We're going to be very focused and very precise on what we do with this Reg A. For us, and I say us meaning BioQuest and bot makers, this Reg A is a tool, okay? It's not our only way to get to the show. This is just a tool and a resource for us to use, because there are a lot of enthusiastic investors based on this share price and based on this share structure that want to be able to take care of supporting the company through some of the immediate liquidity offered by the Reg A. But absolutely can assure you guys that this thing is happening so fast, it's moving. And I have one big, major thing that I can't tell you yet, but
what is it?
Right. Let's put it this way, guys. And listen, if you don't want to believe me, don't. Okay, but I'm not selling you. I have nothing to sell you on. That's one thing as CEO and COO that I'm going to look you in your face and just tell you straight up. Okay, this next coming project that we have is going to be bigger than Facebook, WhatsApp, any of the social media apps out there. I'm making that statement, okay, and I'm making it
That's a bold
bold.
statement.
That is a bold statement, and what I will tell you is that this is a culmination of some absolutely brilliant people with some fantastic ideas, and we found holes in the social media marketplace that are just waiting to be filled by artificial intelligence and innovation. Okay, I would love to tell you this, but I'm just telling you guys now. This is so big and so major. When we roll this out and we announce this, it's just going to be big. That's all I can say.
You can say big, bigger, biggest, but you know.
I can say big, 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 bigger. You know, I'm in Texas, so everything's bigger here in Texas. So, but no, we've got some fantastic things on the line and coming up. And again, for those of you that have been following me, and I do appreciate the followers that kind of keep up with me in the social media space. This is not going to be that bumpy ride, like I said, that we've had with Tanner, or that there with Tanner. This is going to be one where everything that's needed is already in place, and it's already working, and it's already happening now. It's really, really exciting time, and I'm excited to even show you this technology because it's just fantastic.
Well, it's going to be something more of a smooth transition.
Smooth transition, smooth but fast. Okay.
Keep it steady. So, what's the primary goal of the acquisition of bot makers?
The primary goal for the acquisition of bot makers is to give a perfectly pristine, beautiful share structure public company what it deserves to have, and that is a place amongst the really cream of the crop when you're talking about OTC stocks. And absolutely, there are plans to uplist this thing, take this thing all the way, to the top, because we can do it. We have the right people to do it, and there are some of my celebrity connections and relationships that also are going to be coming to bear, and we'll be announcing some of that really soon also. So the biggest thing is that you've got a company in BioQuest that has kept all its filings and done a great job to keep the company clean. You've got a fantastic, relevant, emerging space with artificial intelligence. So it's just the perfect marriage of the two. The ultimate value: give value to the shareholders. Let people make some money, man. Let's build and grow this thing so people can actually start achieving some of those much sought after OTC dreams.
Fair enough. So, is AI Collars another company?
AI Callers is another company. It's a brand that was formed under the Tanner One World Holdings umbrella, where a lot of the development of the concepts, because remember, Tanner was focused on building trade score, market trading software, and there's some machine learning and some artificial intelligence components that came into the development of the trade score, the enhancement of the trade score, which is why AI Callers were developed, because we started moving into this conversational AI space. I don't know if you remember the last time we talked, where we talked about we were developing Maddie out to actually be some technology where you could talk to it and it would trade and place trades based on communicating, as opposed to having to go through and analyze charts and stuff like that. And one of the reasons that was important to me, I have a special needs sister, and there are a lot of things that she can't do physically because of her limitations. And there's a lot of people with those. So we really wanted to start to pioneer everyday entrepreneurial type things and make them more accessible to people with special needs, people with handicaps. So that's really how that whole evolution started and where AI Callers came from. But AI Callers is not best served by being under Tanner, because there's too much overhang. There's too many things that are wrong right now with the Tanner share structure that we will fix, but it's just better served being under the bot makers and under the BioQuest umbrella. But Tanner shareholders will certainly benefit just the same.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
So you were talking prior to the interview, something about Tanner World Holdings. Could you explain the relationship that you did have? No, you already answered that.
Yes, the
Yeah, you
relationship.
already did.
Yeah, I kind of got ahead of myself. Sorry. I get excited, man.
Well, let's talk about the BioQuest share structure.
Okay.
Now, people are looking at this. They really want to know um, if they're looking at investing in a company like this, what the share structure means, what type of leverage that gives you as a public company, and moving forward with being able to expand or acquire or to build out or to use a Reg A like this to bring in the influx of money you're going to need for the marketing and expansion of the AI chat, the bot makers brand.
Absolutely. A couple of things. Number one, it allows us to raise inexpensive money. That's the first thing. Okay. Everybody knows in the OTC space, there are a lot of players out there that will invest into OTC companies, but usually it's arm and a leg investment. So that's the first thing. It allows us to raise cheap, not cheap, but inexpensive, non-toxic capital. The second thing it allows us to do is to acquire talents and properties and things like that with stock in the company that's restricted stock, of course, but to bring on the right people. Because listen, when I tell you that we're doing something that's going to be bigger than Facebook, I mean it. Okay. And so, but we had to attract the right players and the right talent to do that, people with a forward looking vision and that are not just looking at, hey, what can I get right now? That's today. I just had a conversation today with probably one of the most impressive young men that's developed some technology in this conversational AI space. And I was very honest with him. I told him, listen, I see you and your technology as an acquisition of bot makers and BioQuest, and we're going to take that and just do amazing things with it. So at the end of the day, what that share structure does, it allows us to attract what we need to the company when we need it, but also how we need it. We don't need toxic lenders that are doing an 8% note that are going to do a convertible that's discount to market on. We're not doing any of that crap, okay? We're focused on raising the money that we need. And I will tell you now, based on the Reg A, I'm able to raise money from personal friends. And in a company where there's a bunch of debt and stuff like that, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. But I'm able to call up friends and say, listen, let's throw a couple of $100,000 at this thing and let's really take this thing to the moon because everything's right. But if you don't have a company with a good share structure, it makes it very hard to capitalize in the markets.
I'll tell you what, you nailed that one on the head, and that is so true.
Yeah.
It's really challenging, but I think with the way you have it structured, it's going to be a pretty clear runway.
Yes.
I mean, it's how fast you're going to be able to turn things around on the deals and implement what you're trying to do. So
Yes.
I told everybody there was going to be something crazy happen today. I said that if you're coming on here, well, I believe maybe for the first time, but we're going to find out. Please let me know in the chats, guys. He just explained everything about Tanner, Paul. So you have this AI chat bot makers, and I want everybody to see firsthand what that looks like. Is there any way you could bring up the chat bot and you could have a little 4 or 5 minute interview with the chat bot so they can understand how smooth it is and how
Yeah.
natural it is to be able to speak to in any type of contextual way?
Yeah, absolutely. And after that, we'll deal with Paul. Okay. All right. So yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen here, and what I am showing you is one of our newest creations over here, and it's just fantastic. So JRC, you can see the screen with the little green bubble in the middle, right?
Oh yeah. So
Okay,
can
cool
everybody
deal.
else.
So again, guys, remember I told you about how this pathway started. It was introducing conversational AI technology into trading software where people could communicate. But what we've done is that we've been able to innovate that and literally create what we call Web 3.5. And here's why I call it Web 3.5. Web 3.0 was basically the integration of more smart technology, some machine learning, artificial intelligence into it. But what we call Web 3.5 is literally changing the way people interact with the internet, because right now, JRC, as you know, if you want information, you go to a website, you look at the menu, you click on the menu, you got to find information. It is truly browsing. Okay. What we're doing is that we're introducing a concept called conversational browsing, which takes you more away from the going to a website and having to look for information, and having information that's contained in that website or about the company actually brought to you. So it's really more of a concierge type experience in browsing the web. This is where things will be very soon. And this is what we saw in our movies like Star Wars and Star Trek, where you want information. What did Dr. Spock say? Computer, tell me this. And that's the way. And that was kind of the next evolution of the internet. So, and so we're on the forefront of that because we're working and developing this technologies into what we call smart sites to actually give web browsers an option to never have to look at a website. They can just go on to a page that just looks like this. It can be decorated or done any kind of way aesthetically and talk to it and still get the same information. Just imagine this. You go on to a blank page like this and you say, Amazon, show me the show me the new line of AirPods that are out, and literally you start getting that. It's a concierge level experiences. One of my favorite watches is Hublot. So whenever I go to a Hublot store, guess what? I walk in there and I say, bring me the watches that I want to see. It's not where I've got to go and look and browse. So it's kind of the same conversation here. So what I'm going to do is that we've set up a little JR, and I'm sorry, we didn't put JRC on there, JR Stock Tips. So just imagine that and I just want you to hear the interaction between this, and then we'll go from there. Now, this was just put together just to do this demonstration. So it's not perfect, but I'm going to talk to you about why we have stock transfer agents. We have companies that are doing IPOs. We have charities. We have all kind of different organizations using this technology because it's just mind-blowing. So I'm going to go ahead and start this call here. You should be able to hear it.
Hello. Thank you for connecting with JR Stock Tips. My name is Jeannie. Is there any stocks you would like to talk about, or should I just fire away with my hot picks? Hey there. What can I help you with today? Are you looking for some stock insights or market updates?
Let's start with some information on Tesla.
Are you still there? If there's anything specific you'd like to know about stocks or the market, just let me know. I'm here to help.
You know what? I don't think she's hearing me. Let's see here. You know, this worked perfect last night.
Yep.
Hey, just checking in to see if you still want to chat about stocks or...
Yeah, so let's try this. Let's restart her system here. And let's see here. But guys, see, I'm always above embarrassment. I always got a plan.
Thank you for connecting with JR Stock Tips. My name is Jeannie. Is there any stocks you would like to talk about, or should I just fire away with my hot picks?
Can you tell me something about Tesla?
Sure thing. Tesla's stock has been making waves lately. Currently, it's seeing movements due to its expansion into new markets and innovative product launches. Analysts are excited about their steady push into sustainable energy solutions and vehicle advancements. Anything specific you want to dive deeper into, like financials or recent news?
Tell me about the latest earnings per share.
All right. Tesla's latest earnings per share have been quite impressive, coming in above expectations. It shows their profitability is on the rise, thanks to strong sales and operational efficiencies. Would you like more details on any other financials or maybe some upcoming announcements?
Yeah, let's talk about upcoming announcements.
Tesla has some exciting stuff on the horizon. They're about to unveil new vehicle features and possibly updates on their autonomous driving tech. A lot of buzz around their next moves in international markets too. It's keeping investors keenly interested.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me stop here. Let me try to see how smart you are. I'm doing a radio interview right now. Can you say hello to JRC for me? Are you smart enough to do that?
Hello, JRC. Glad to be part of your show in a way. Thanks for having me through this radio interview.
Well, thank you very much. I kind of threw that in there. I didn't know if you'd answer. Thank you so much, Jeannie. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Thanks for the chat. Have an awesome day and feel free to reach out anytime.
Perfect. Okay, there. So you got a little bit of a real world scenario. So I'll let you give any comments on that, and then I'll give you just kind of a brief understanding of the potential for what you just heard. And actually, it's not potential; it's actually happening now. But let's just see if there's anything comments or questions you or your people have, and we will get to you, Paul.
I noticed a lot right off the rip. I mean, first off, I didn't hear you ask her about like how's like the chart looking, how's trading going right now? Do you think it's undervalued or overbought or oversold, or how is the stock trending at the moment? Like things that a trade certain questions that trading individuals might ask. I think that would have been really exciting to do.
Mhm.
And are you able to talk like that to it and it'll respond?
Yes, absolutely. See, here's the beauty of these agents is they are actually able to do what we call HTTP streaming. So they can literally stream and go collect new data real time during the conversation, just like we do when we talk to each other. We're getting streaming information from our brain. We're thinking about something in the past or we're recalling something. So it's the exact same thing. What you saw was about a 0.5% of her capabilities. Okay. But I just wanted you to understand the dynamics of making things easier. I don't know if I'm dating myself, but there was a time where we didn't talk to our cars like we do now. Okay. We
No,
talk to our
sir.
phone, we talk to our watch, we talk to everything. And we're getting to be more of an interactive society with technology to where really the line between technology and human interaction is blurred. So what this technology will allow us to do is create a streamlined browsing dynamic between user and website or user and stock chart or user and whatever in order to create dynamic experiences. For example, Colonial Stock Transfer, which is the biggest, if not one of the biggest stock transfer agents in the country. Well, they are now a client of ours. And the reason they're a client of ours because they needed to use this technology or wanted to use this technology once they saw it to handle inbound interactions coming from shareholders for a big IPO that they were responsible for. So it completely saved them time. It saved them money. It saved them efforts, and it saved their staff energy because this robot was actually able to talk to shareholders that have questions, answer the questions in a nice, friendly, empathetic way, the same way one of the staff would at Colonial, because they're all fantastic over there,
Yeah, they
and
are.
able to relay information. And here's the thing, also fill out forms, send text messages. So let's just say someone has a change of address form that they want to fill out. Well, Colonial now has the technology where their staff doesn't even have to get on the phone with you. You literally can either go to the website and interact, and this isn't up yet, but go to the website and interact, and it will ask, what's your name? You say your name. It will populate a form. What's your address? What's your phone number? All this stuff like that. And then it'll literally email you a PDF copy of that form all filled out. You sign it and send it in. And we're even integrating DocuSign into that. So if you just think about what I'm talking about for a paperwork intensive business like a transfer agent, this type of automations will save thousands of hours in labor because these are things that are not having to be done. And you know how it is when you have to talk to somebody on the phone, the conversation goes and starts talking about something else. So now these agents are efficient, they're streamlined, they're automated, and they will completely revolutionize the way businesses interact with their customers to save them time and money.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Now, yeah, with your permission, I would like to bring and put Pat and Cheeto back on the spot and bring them on here
Absolutely.
to ask a few questions about what's going on. Pat and Cheeto, you
Absolutely.
guys available?
Yeah, I'm here.
Now, you guys have heard everything he said. You saw the chatbot interview. What do you think? Like,
That's
you guys,
amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Really cool.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's absolutely fantastic. And guys, I haven't even let the lid off of the big one, so I can't yet. But it gets so much better than this. I mean, it's just awesome what this technology can do.
When she created JRC, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't even plan that. I just threw that in there to see because when we're testing these agents, we like to try to trip them up and get them to go off on a tangent or something. So it's really awesome technology. And if you can just kind of take a step back to when the internet first became available, there were people who didn't know that you can't do business now if you're not online. And so this is where we're at, is that it's going to get to the point where you can't do business if you're not using artificial intelligence. But see what differentiates us from everybody else, guys. We're focused on sectors that most people aren't looking at. If you go on Facebook and you'll get a million ads for these do-it-yourself, quick, dirty, in a hurry, AI that'll answer your phone and stuff like that. But what we're doing, we're creating enterprise solutions primarily for public companies and large organizations, nonprofit organizations that are doing fundraisers. They need outbound calls to be made. So we're really kind of cutting out our own niche in the space in order to maximize on what we're going to be able to bring in value to this. So all of our solutions are enterprise level. So we're not really tied down and trying to deal with the mom and pop businesses just yet. We want to focus on these enterprise solutions. But I can tell you, Colonial Stock Transfer is the only transfer agent using artificial intelligence, period. And they're using ours. So when you start talking about some of the other things that are possible in the public company space, it's just mind blowing. There's so much there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I got a secret question, because I mean, I hope you can talk about this. If you can't, just tell them you can't answer it. But lately, I've been hearing pop up more and more that companies are starting to do Reg CFs.
Yes.
Crowdfunding. And I know when most people think of crowdfunding, there's certain names that are more synonymous with that than others.
Mm-hmm.
Are you diving into that area of the market? And can you divulge anything about it?
Yeah, well, I want everybody to log on to this website. It's called aifundraising.ai. Okay, and maybe you can put that in the chat there or something like that, or maybe I could do it. But it's aifundraising.ai. That is a really good question, and I got a really good damn answer for you, okay? So we are actually created a division of this company that's specialized in working with companies that are raising capital through Reg A or Reg CF to initiate outbound marketing calls to prospective investors, and also to handle inbound calls to answer questions about the Reg A or about the Reg CF real time, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Now, this is a game changer because, first of all, raising money under a Reg A and Reg CF is hard because you got to market that, okay? But when you're able to have a team of AI agents that are actually calling investors for you, and where are the investors coming? We actually get lists of people that are looking for investments. And that's not just lists that are already out there, but we also have a system within 5 minutes of somebody going on to a forum and saying, I'm interested in this Reg CF. They have a call coming to them from our AI talking to them about the investment opportunity. So this is another, and this isn't secret anymore. It was a couple of days ago, but we actually have been selected by WeFunder, the biggest platform for Reg CF. We have been selected by WeFunder to be added to their preferred partner list. I say partner, it's really more of a collaboration where we will be doing these campaigns for people that are raising through WeFunder, and WeFunder is bringing the customers to us. We're not having to chase them down. So, guys, I mean, come on. You know, this is big.
That's great.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for asking that question, by the way. We're really excited.
Guys, we've heard of companies trying to raise money different ways.
Yes.
And what better way for a public company to raise than through their shareholders, like people that actually believe in the product, know about what's going on behind it, have seen their growth. And through something like WeFunder, you can get additional perks, not just buying the stock and waiting for it to go up, but you may be able to get additional perks through the company.
Absolutely.
They come in the form of products and services too.
Absolutely. And if you look at our other website, which is called aiforlandlords.com, that's aiforlandlords.com. We just secured a deal with a family out of New York. They own over 600 different housing units, and they own over 300 different apartment complexes. They're going to be integrating this AI technology to take all of the inbound maintenance requests. Okay. So
that's going to save them a headache.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, think about it, because maintenance requests are being written down and they're getting lost and people don't know what's going on. All of this stuff is becoming automated, and the AI doesn't just take the information, it actually parses that data and initiates workflows. So someone calls in and say, I have a leaky faucet in my apartment. It will actually initiate all the workflow and all the paperwork to the point where that request is completed and closed. This is absolutely revolutionary technology. And the key is what we're focused on under my leadership specifically. I'm focused on carving out niches, AI for landlords.us, AI fundraising.ai, AI for law firms, where we're actually working with law firms that are doing tort cases where class action lawsuits, they've got to get all these long questionnaires filled out. We're using this AI to handle the onboarding of these clients. So the sky's the limit, and we can go anywhere with this. And we're just excited to do this. And this is why I decided to actually step out of my kind of retirement life and go into actually being the CEO of this company, because I just know where this is going, and I want to be one of the leaders in this process.
What do you think about that, Pat?
Sounds excellent. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and you have a good vehicle now in the stock with the share structure, so all good to go.
Very nice vehicle. Yeah.
Now it sounds sexy, but I'm gonna put a different layer of sexy on this with this question. I think it's the one last question that would wrap it up well. What type of margins are you able to operate with?
Wow. How do I
Are
say
you allowed
that?
to divulge that? Is that a
Let's put it this way. The margins are absolutely fantastic. Okay. They are absolutely fantastic. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. And what I can expound on a little bit is that this technology is not expensive to develop. It's not expensive to test, because it's really all becoming part of mainstream society now. But it's really just a matter of who are going to be the innovators, who's going to be the GoDaddy of the internet world, who's going to be the ones that take what's there and take it to the marketplace in such a way where they become basically a household or a brand name in that. And that's what I specialize in. Remember, guys, I took something from 0 to 3,000 Walmart stores in 3 years. I know this. Okay. I know what to do and I know how to do it. It just needed to be the right vehicle. First of all, in BioQuest, we have that. And it needed also to be the right methodology and marketing in the marketplace. I want to answer real quick one question somebody asked about what's the revenue model. The revenue model is typically, and this is what's so awesome, a low monthly fee and a couple of cents per minute for the agents. It's that simple. Okay. We don't try to reinvent the wheel and have all these fancy complex algorithms and equations. It's just what we offer to businesses: a low monthly fee, a nice a low cents per minute for the calling time for the agents, all the workflows and automations that's included in that monthly fee, and people are happy. And one of the things that I can announce now that I just thought of is we're actually going to be the first AI company that's going to roll out a model that is zero cost upfront, $1 per minute, period, end of story. No monthly rentals of the system. No. So when you talk about small businesses, a doctor's office or a lawyer or a law firm that don't have a lot of money, but they really need help with these inbound, outbound calls, this is what we're going to be offering. So guys, the future is bright. I mean, we're excited. And at some point, if you guys give me a chance to respond to Mr. Paul, because I really want to, okay. But this is just fantastic, guys. What's going on here is just amazing.
So what I wanted to know, and maybe others as well, I looked up the Reg A. It has a price of $1. Does that still stand? Or
Yes, that is the offering price. Yes.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, and I sometimes people are fearful of companies going in and then re-rating and lowering the price of the Reg A. I'm just going to tell you guys, we don't have to do that. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and say this could never, ever would happen. You just don't do that as an executive in a company. That's stupid. But what I will tell you is that we don't have to do that. I mean, there's so many people that want in on this AI technology, trying to kind of, bastardize our own Reg A just doesn't make sense. That's just an OTC trick, and we're just not going to do that.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because obviously I have seen it in the past, and they have to reprice it often. But yeah, with this stock, it's probably different.
Yeah, we just, there's no need to do that. If you look at the share structure and where we're at now, I mean, why? You know, and there's so much going on, and we are revenue generating also. This is not pre making money. We're actually revenue generating. We're actually servicing clients now.
And just to recap, I've seen a few comments, yes, from Paul, and yes from others, but TONR is going to benefit by the acquisition of bot makers.
Yes.
Trent is
the
taking
acquisition
1
of AI
million
callers.
shares of his personal stock in BQST,
Yes.
which is not restricted. It's not something to be raised from the Reg A or anything. It's already his stock.
It's
pulling
mine.
out of his pocket, sweat equity, and he's purchasing this, which is going to go to the bottom line for TONR, and then TONR, which eventually he'll be at the helm at, will be able to help restructure, take care of some of their debt, and put things in a more favorable looking balance sheet so that they can turn things around for the company.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Absolutely.
So no regestation of bad stuff. That's just straightforward, a great plan. And I've heard quite a few, but it takes money. So I guess another question would be to give more a clear picture of that. What does 1 million shares of BQST look like in value?
Well, look at the stock price. You know,
I know, but follow my thing. What did it close at today? What was the last trade at?
I do not know, and so what? Can somebody look
That'd
at
be
that?
for one of the guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
95 cents, but obviously it has a huge spread right now because it's so thin. Because all the time, if the DTC number is this low, obviously there is a wide spread. It's gonna get better if a few of the Reg A shares maybe trickle in over time, and that's not even a bad thing, I guess. I mean, if you have 500,000 DTC, is still really good.
Right.
Right now the spread is large, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to remember, guys, I mean, somebody has to sell some stock, I mean, in order to get the liquidity going. So, you know, it's, you know, I think OTC people, and this is one of the reasons why I really wanted to go ahead and step up and take over as COO and be a CEO, because sometimes, you know, you just got to talk to people and put all the bull crap aside, and let's just have a real conversation, because that's the problem in the OTC space is people want information every day. The shareholders want a press release every 5 seconds. They want a press release.
Can't do it.
But you can't do it. You just can't, and you're stupid if you try to do it. So what we'll be bringing into this space also is that BioQuest is going to be very active on social media. Personally, I'm going to be very active on social media. Now, I'm not going to give out information that can't be disclosed or anything like that. I'm not going to get into any of that, but we're going to be very active in communicating. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I know just in consulting for Tanner is, listen, they got so much going on there. They have to be very cautious about when they put out anything, when they say anything. Any company should be. And you just have to do that. But at the end of the day, I do understand the value of communicating with shareholders, but also, you know, the shareholders need to understand the value in having a damn good leader, okay, of the company that may not have time for us to cater to every little whim and want that you have. We've got to focus on building the brand. If you don't believe in this after seeing this interview, then you just don't get it, okay? Period, end of story. And you don't want to get it. So move on, all right? But everybody who wants to take a part in something big, who wants to be a little bit of a dreamer and see a future here, listen, we can worry about the past all we want. Okay, go join some other club. Okay, right now we're going to focus on the future, and we're going to build this thing and make this thing work. It's not going to be a perfect road. There's going to be some bumps in the road. There have been some just to get to this point, but we're here and we're here to stay, and we're going to do this big. We're not swinging for singles and doubles. We're swinging for the fence.
Well said. Now, did you want to have a moment to address Paul's portfolio?
I do, and I'm saying this, and I don't do this, guys, and so give me a little bit of latitude here, and I won't take a long time to do this. But here's the deal: if you're not in the chair, just your opinion doesn't matter. Period. End of story. You can think what you want to think. You can go online. You can cry. You can bitch. You can moan and complain about how horrible everything are. But there's a reason why we're in the chair and you're not. Paul, I'm in the chair now for BQST and when I take over Tonner. And what I'm telling you now, and I want to say this to every single shareholder so you get this clearly. We know about the games, Paul, of you contacting our law firm and pretending that there's this big class action lawsuit and all this fraud that you've committed. We know who you are, and we're coming, buddy. And bottom line, the buck stops here. And I'm letting you know that personal calls to a CEO's cell phone, first of all, it's really tacky and shitty to do that to a woman. But bottom line, do what you got to do. I'm here. I'm the boss. The decision will be at my desk. And I suggest you just be an unhappy shareholder and move on, or you get on the train because there's room for you also, because you obviously have money in this and you want to win. I don't like you, but I do want you to win. So either get off the train and go do something else or stay on this ride because we're going. So anyway, that's my piece. I've said what I need to say, but I do have a problem with the way shareholders try to treat executives and people in these companies that are trying to make things happen and they can't put out a press release. Just stop with the games, guys, because nobody has time for them and nobody's going to give any energy to that. And I won't give any more energy to this either, but I do think it's important when somebody thinks they can pick on a woman, why don't you try picking on somebody who will pick back? That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we are investing in OTC market companies. So you got to know what you own. You got to do your own due diligence. And when it comes down to pulling the trigger on stock, you got to make a big boy decision. And you got to know whatever you invest, potentially you can lose 100% of. That's why it's so important on our show to help give you as much information as we can on how to do proper due diligence, what questions to ask, and what to go after. That sets you up for the best possibility of success. Does it guarantee anything? No. We're not licensed professionals. We're not financial planners. And even they can't give you that type of information because ultimately it comes down to market sentiment and the turns of the tide and timing. Like there's so many things that go into it. It's impossible to predict something like that. So you just got to hedge your investment by doing as much research as possible, knowing the trends in the market. And I believe right now there's a huge trend that's going to ride for a long time on AI. And everybody sees that. Everything's moving towards that. And if this has the adaptability in the market to help small businesses, middle-sized businesses, real estate agencies, transfer, like any number of companies, property managers, you name it, to have a more constructive workflow, an organized communication system with their customers, and this responsive, clear. It's going to be a game changer, especially if they can do it without spending $1 million, you know, and they don't have time to go invent an AI bot. They don't have time to go and figure this out. They've got this here right now and a great opportunity to move forward with it. So guys, do your due diligence by all means, find out everything you can. And if you have more questions, right here at the bottom, it says, follow our guest at BioQuest Corp. That's their Twitter handle. Go follow the account. And you can DM the company so that they have time to respond to you. But I'm very sure that me and Trent are going to be doing a lot more business here in the future and providing some of those really excellent, notice I said excellent, shareholder questions and doing video responses on them so that you guys can have due diligence information at your fingertips on YouTube and on X. And that's what we're here for.
Now, JRC, does that mean we can announce kind of what happened last night? We can talk about that. Oh, man,
you got to. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so guys, listen. And I would not have wanted to do this with anybody else. This is absolutely, if we were going to start in this space, JRC is where we wanted to start with. So we have gone into, we had a conversation last night after JRC heard this technology. And so we are now going to make our technology a part of the JRC team with a dynamic where we're going to build together. So the value that we're getting with this exposure for this technology, for all the work that JRC has done since 2009, I think he said, he's done a fantastic job. But guess what? We have technology that can help him expand the reach much farther and much faster, where his time becomes now being creative and not actually having to sit in front of a camera or sit in front of a microphone and do some of the amazing work he's done. So now this AI technology from bot makers is going to be a part of JRC, and I am absolutely ecstatic about that. Because let me tell you guys, and okay, Paul, this is for you too. He wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have our shit together. That's just bottom line. Okay. So let's just call it what it is. Okay. But JRC, I really do want you to know that I know what it means to be a pioneer. I know what innovators and trendsetters look like, and you are absolutely one of them. You got some wannabes out there who are mad that they're not you, but guess what? It is what it is. But you are absolutely doing some amazing things, and we're thrilled to be able to bring this technology to JRC Stock Talk and continue to grow and build that, so your listeners and everybody else can continue to be exposed to this emerging tech. Because guess what? There is no AI company out there that's even thought about this space. This is why JRC and I had the conversation we did last night. So absolutely kudos to you guys also. Thank you.
Just to give y'all a little tiny glimpse at what that might look like, we're going to be going through market data, me, Pat, Shido, and we're going to come up with companies that we believe have really strong potential. We're following, and we're going to put up a little bit of information on that company and do short segmented podcasts that post during trading hours throughout the week. So we're still going to have our live shows. We're still going to be on here talking to you in person, but we're also going to be spotlighting other smaller other companies individually in short segments, so you can pop up, get some due diligence on, add it to your watch list, and do what you do best, which is trade and make money, baby. And we're just here to support that. So we'll try to put a spotlight on things that have meat, have potential, and try to pull away some of the attraction that people have had on stocks that maybe don't.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. This is fantastic, guys. I mean, it's just so exciting. And I told you last night, JRC, that one of my things I believe in is affirmations and lifting people up. Okay, what you guys are doing is so necessary, because we as executives in these companies, we can't communicate all the time. We don't have time, and people don't understand is that, well, I invested in their company. Why can't they talk to me? Why didn't they keep this promise? Why didn't that happen? Guess what? Things happen, guys. But you guys are always out there kind of being the middle ground between the shareholders and the companies, and helping sometimes clear some of that smoke out of the way that creates negative feelings, or, makes people not want to invest or invest for the wrong reason. So I really do want to recognize you guys and thank you so much for what you're doing. I've been on your show 3 times now, and I'll continue to come back. I love this platform. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Great.
All right, guys, we are going to transition now into the next segment where we break down today's market data, today's trending stocks, and today's busts. And it all happens right here on JRC Stocks. Trent, please, everybody that's watching right now, please share this episode with your friends. DM them, talk to them about it, because I want you to ask questions. Ask other people that trade with you what technology and the ability it has to make a difference in the market. That really is a telling sign. And I think that the more questions, the more information you get, it'll be able to help you arrive at a decision. And that's, do I buy or do I not buy stock?
Yes.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Now we're going to transition here. Trent, is there any last things you want to say to the shareholders or investors before we do?
I want to say to you guys, look, one of the things I think is unique when you have an executive in a company that is really willing to hear you. Okay. I hear you. Okay. I've been on both sides. I've been on all sides of this equation. I've been a shareholder. I've been an executive. I've been all that. Okay. But what I'm telling you now is that some of the biggest mistakes happen because people lose the ability to believe. And if you are one of those people who want to see something big happen, you want to see growth. First of all, I have a family. I could give those million shares to my daughters. There's a lot that I could do with that, but I believe in what everybody believed in so long ago. I believe in now, but not only do I believe it, I'm really, really good at what I do. My team is really, really good at what they do. And we've got this. We've got this technology, and we're going to take that. And every day we hear just what JRC last night. This is amazing. It's mind-blowing. I've got to have it. Let's do this. So we're going to do this thing, okay? So just be patient, be calm. I know some people were asking about timelines. The timelines are now. Everything I'm talking about, we're doing now. So you're going to continue to hear more and see more out of this. But again, do your due diligence. If this isn't for you, don't get in. If it is for you, get in. And if you don't like it, get out. I mean, that's all we can tell you. But at the end of the day, we're going to continue to move this thing forward. And I'm absolutely thrilled that now we're going to be able to do it with awesome people like JRC and his team.
Thank you, Trent. It says a lot. Guys, if you're watching, again, share it, DM people, ask them questions, do some more due diligence on BQST, TRTONR shareholders. Follow what's going on, because I know it doesn't happen in the twinkling of an eye or tomorrow, but there is a acquisition taking place.
Yes.
And you will be updated. Publicly available information is brought to you directly through press release and financial filings. Make sure you stay tuned for that. I believe heavily that Trent's a man of his word, and you'll be able to see that sometime in the near future. And then you'll be able to tell exactly how that's going to benefit and relate to you guys, and what it'll mean for TONR being able to turn around.
Absolutely.
Guys, without much further ado, we are going to transition now. Trent, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Take care, buddy. Thank you. Have a good day. Nice meeting all of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
And I'll talk to you after the show.
Sounds good, buddy. Take care. Have a good day.
Bye.